Okay, so sorry you can see some of the makeup kind of scattered about my desk, but that's just how this is gonna work easier. So, as I said in my intro, sorry, I'm trying to get more light. So, as I said in my intro, I kind of went through my makeup collection and tried to go through what makeup was a definite YouTube made me buy this product. Now, there's products I don't have anymore, products I've decluttered or used up kind of over the years. I kind of also thought there was a lot of brands that I've bought simply because they were recommended to me via YouTube. But I kind of think because it was just a brand and not a specific product, not to include that in this video. I think that might be a separate video, like brands I discovered because of YouTube, and there's actually quite a lot, some of which will appear in this video, some of which won't. You know, they might appear in the other video again, just because YouTube totally like broadened the amount of makeup I was using, the amount of makeup I was trying. Like, you know, as much as I've been watching YouTube for years, I've been watching makeup tutorials for years, I never really sat down and watched like beauty influencers reviewing products, talking about makeup, and really through that is what totally got me actually to try and expand my makeup collection. I've tried tons of products, and some of them I love, some of them I hated. I'll try and make this video as quick as possible. As I said, I have decluttered a lot of makeup over like the years, and I will link any declutter videos I have either in the cards or in the description box. But anyway, let's get into it. So I kind of organised it, and I'm going to start with face products. So I'm just going to grab this here since he's in shot. And this is the Mario Badescu skincare facial spray with aloe, herbs and rose water. So I use this as a setting spray. I also use this on no makeup days where I just want to like cool my skin down. Basically every YouTuber and their mum uses this product, but the YouTuber I would credit for this probably would be Noel, because she's probably the first YouTuber I actually saw talk about the product, the benefit the products have, instead of just using it in the routine and just mentioning the name of it and not actually really talking about it. And I ended up buying a whole kit of Mario Badescu skincare that came with like the drying lotion, the silver powder, a face mask, the spray, a face wash, and it has made a huge difference to my skin. This smells amazing. I was going to get the purple one because the purple one's kind of like the cult classic one, like the lavender one. But I actually really like this one. I was talking to my friend who has really dry skin, and she raves about this. She said she's a nurse as well. She says she takes it in her bag just to refresh her skin after a busy day. And I have oily skin and I love this, so I think this is perfect for all skin types, which it does say on the bottle. But I would actually agree with that, because usually I would disagree, because my skin is so drastically oily, but then my friend, her skin's so drastically dry, and we both love this product. So, I mean, as I said, so many YouTubers use this product and rave about this product, but I would have to credit Noel, because she was probably the first person I saw actually talk about the benefits of this product and what it does, why she uses it, and I think that's really what drove me to go out and buy it. So, yes, and I love this, and it smells like a Turkish delight. It does. It makes you smell like Turkish delight, which is just the best smell in the world, in my opinion. If you don't like rose, don't go for that one. But they have a green one, which I think is more like rosemary, and then they have the purple one, which is lavender. Okay, so sticking with face products, I'm going to go on to face powders. And this was probably one of the first kind of like really went out and bought because of YouTube, and it is the No7 translucent setting spray. So I have two tubs here. The bottom one you can see is like almost used up. I love this. I just went and repurchased this the other day. So obviously No7 is Boots' own brand of makeup, and this is the translucent perfect light loose powder. And this is the packaging. The packaging is so nice. I really like it. It looks really elegant. I actually quite like having it sitting up on my mirror. And the YouTuber who totally recommended this was Jessica Braun on Jam Beauty 89. She always talks about this in her declutter videos and how she never declutters it because she really likes it. And it totally like inspired me to go out and buy it because it's one of the few products that's actually like readily available in the UK because it is a Boots own brand product. Plus, No7, I don't know if anyone else in the UK would agree, I always felt like No7 was like an old lady brand because it was the kind of thing like my mum would buy their makeup, my gran would buy like their skincare, you know, you always got you get vouchers for No7 skincare makeup every time you shop in Boots, you know, and I don't know why I never bothered to buy anything from them. Now, this isn't the first like No7 product I bought. You know, it probably would have been this that inspired me to go buy actually from the brand. But then when I did buy this powder lasts forever. I've had this for like a year now and I still have a lot in it. I just repurchased it because I am running out and I had a coupon. Which I will say, obviously, you get vouchers all the time when you shop in Boots. So that's when I would buy No7 products. Plus, they always give free gifts. And that's like a way I've actually learned to try a lot of No7 products is usually when you buy like 2 full-size products or brushes or skincare, you get like a gift box that usually has, I have so many No7 mascaras. I've had like highlighting fluids, eyeshadows, mascaras, eyeliners, lipsticks, you name it, skincare. They're a really good brand. I mean, they are up there in price a little bit. They're not as expensive as, say, like, you know, Smashbox or Benefit, you know, but they are a bit up there. But I do like the women who work at the No7 counter are always so nice. And I love that they skin match you to your foundation. And I do swear by No7 foundation, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But this is definitely Jessica Braun, who is one of my favourite YouTubers here on YouTube. She's absolutely amazing. And she just kind of talked about this a lot. Like, in her declutter video, she just kept saying how, like, she loves this powder. She just couldn't part with it. And I was just kind of like, you know what? If it's that good, because she is the most ruthless declutterer ever, I need to go check this out. Because I've always had really bad luck with powders. This doesn't cause any flashback. It makes your skin so ridiculously soft. It looks flawless. And it's just a really, really good all-round setting powder. Okay, so sticking with face products in No7, I have here the No7 Beautifully Matte Foundation in the shade Calico. Again, this was a kind of, I've lost the lid for it and it's annoying me, but it comes in a pump bottle. I have gone through this ridiculously quickly. I like that it has this bit here that pushes the product up so you don't waste any, which is really similar to the Benefit Hello Flawless foundation, which has this as well. So I like that there is no waste. Now, as much as Jessica Braun, she doesn't, I don't think she uses this foundation because she has dry skin, but I'm pretty sure she recommended this for oily skin, saying that it was a really good matte foundation. And I know that Cassie on Frithfic, when she was doing a foundation declutter, she had this in her collection and I don't think she tried it yet. And I was like, girl, this foundation is life-changing. I love this foundation. I had been using the Airbrush Away foundation for the longest time and I like that foundation. I do. Because it has like a really grey undertone. I am so pale that I really like that. This kind of has more of like a, even though it's the same shade, I think because it's a different formula, it's slightly warmer. But I found that the Airbrush Away, which looks amazing, it does just, it's like a filter for your face. I found that it wasn't great on my oily skin. Because it is a liquid foundation. So when I saw this, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go try this. It's an all-day velvet matte perfection. It's oil-free, has an SPF of 15. And I love this. As you can see, I haven't even had this for like 6 months. You know, I've just been going through this. And a little bit of this goes a long, long way. But I absolutely love this. As I said, if it wasn't for YouTube, I just don't think I would have even ever bothered with No7 because I think not so much in the States where No7 is still quite new. like, but in the UK, I've always felt No7 was a mumsy brand. It was for more mature skin, mature women. And then I discovered, you know, that is not true. No7 has some amazing products. I've tried some of their skincare, but not really, because a lot of their skincare is targeted more for aging skin rather than like oily skin. But their makeup so far, I absolutely love. I don't like their nail polishes, but that's a whole other story. But I absolutely love this foundation. So, yes. Okay, so I think I have 2 more foundations. Yes, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover foundation. I have mine in light sand. I can't remember exactly who I was inspired to buy this from, because this foundation was so hot for a hot minute on YouTube. I know Tati spoke about it. I think Jessica Braun spoke about it, but the one for dry skin. I think Cassie spoke about this. 11th Gorgeous, I'm pretty sure, spoke about this. I'm sure Rach Loves. I could be completely wrong. But my point being, for a hot minute, so many YouTubers were talking about the L'Oreal Infallible Foundation. I have mine in the Total Cover. This is the matte one. And yeah, this is a really good foundation. I kind of stopped using it for a little while just because I kind of felt like, I don't know, it was kind of bunching up funny on my skin. Like, I find if you put even just the tiniest bit too much, it will start to pill on your skin. Now, I don't know if that was the primer I was using, because I was using it with the primer that coincides with this foundation. And I actually really hate the primer that goes with this, because I find the primer to be really oily, which makes no sense because it's supposed to be a mattifying primer. But I started using this just with like my normal primer that I use every day, and I have noticed a difference using it with a different primer rather than the primer that came with this, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the packaging, like it being in a squeezy tube, because I feel like there's a lot of product going to go to waste. I mean, it's nearly used up. Would I repurchase this? I'm not entirely sure if I would repurchase this, to be honest. I mean, I like that it's pale enough on me. I do like L'Oreal foundations because they're one of the few foundations I find that are actually pale enough. I still use lightning drops with this foundation. I think this foundation gives the most amazing coverage, but I do find by the end of the day this does kind of break up a little bit on my skin. So it's kind of a difficult one to say, because I'm reusing this right now with different primers to see if it was the primer that was the problem. Sorry, this is turning into more of like a mini review video, but anyway. Okay, and then last foundation is the Dermocal makeup cover. So again, this is a product everybody was talking about for a little while on YouTube because it just kind of appeared. And I think the first review I watched on this was Cassie from Thrift. So I'm going to talk about the same YouTubers over and over because I watch the same YouTubers over and over. And then I watched NikkieTutorials do a video on this because they'd used her image without her permission. And I already had this foundation and I was like, yes, another review. So, I mean, really, the person who turned me onto this was my best friend, who again has really dry skin. But she said it covers everything. And I know Cassie on Thrift has oily skin like myself. So I was kind of like, okay, you know what? I've watched reviews on it and now my friends recommended it. You get this on Amazon. If you're pale like me, go for the second shade because the first shade's actually darker than the second shade. I mean, you can tell I have used hardly any of this. Like, if I was to squeeze, that's all I have used. The rest of this tube is full. I have a love-hate thing with this foundation because it covers everything beautifully. It is the most high coverage thing in the world. It's amazing. I like the packaging. It came in a really cute box. You know, I like that she has an expiration date on it. You know, blah, 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 blah. It's really affordable. But this stuff does not withstand oils. Like, I have really, really oily skin. And honestly, by a few hours, this is like melting off my face. My face feels super oily, ingrowth. Again, I haven't really given this a fair shot. Again, I mean, I used this in the summer when maybe I should have been using this more in the winter, which we're currently snowed in right now where we live. So maybe I might give this another go with like a different powder, a different primer, and see if I still have the same problem. But I mean, I loved this the first couple of times I used it, and then after a while I was just like, this transfer is really bad, this is making my skin oily. Then I kind of was like annoyed when, you know, Nikki did that video being like they used her images without her permission, and then that just annoyed me because I don't like when companies do that, obviously, because that's just a really shitty thing to do. You know, okay, I know I'm mentioning YouTubers here, they have no idea who I am, yada yada yada, but at least I will credit them. You know, I'm not using their footage or their images without their permission. I would never do that. So I don't know, it just, that kind of turned me off from the company a little bit, and I don't know, I'll give this another go, but yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those products that's like, nobody talks about it anymore, and I kind of see why nobody talks about it. Okay, so last kind of face product is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age, the Eraser Eye Under Eye Concealer. This, Tati raves about this so much, and this is the second one I've gone through. I love this. I never really bothered with concealers for the longest time. I don't, hate me all you want, but I don't really suffer from under eye bags. I don't really have under eye wrinkles. I know I'm 28, I just have oily skin, which means I have youthful skin, and it's a blessing and a curse because I hate my oily skin. I hate my open pores. I hate that everybody thinks I'm 18 and I'm 28. People think I'm 10 years younger than I am, and that honestly upsets me sometimes. Why don't they think I'm 18? Well, somebody did a couple years ago, and that made me sad. Anyway, but I just never really bothered with concealers again until I started watching YouTube, and when I had my wedding makeup done, that I really started to notice like a difference. And I love this because it's so lightweight. It's like this little sponge tip at the end, which you just dab dab dab, pat pat pat, and it is blended. This gives really good coverage. This actually lasts quite a good while, and again, it's one of those ones that you don't waste any of the product in it. I've already used quite a big chunk out of this because I use this every single day. It's not really like a spot concealing concealer. It's definitely, like as it says, it's an under eye concealer. But yeah, I really like this. I totally was like, oh my god, I see why she raves about this. I see why everybody tags her in tweets about this product. This product is amazing, and it's so affordable and so good. Okay, so moving on to lip products. So I have here my Colourpop Ultra Satin lips, and I'm assuming these are both the Ultra Satins. So I also have an Ultra Matte lip, which these came in a set. And Colourpop is definitely a YouTube recommended brand. So I'm not going to spend too long talking about them because I think I will do a brand I bought because of YouTube, and I will talk more heavily about Colourpop. So I'm going to talk about the Ultra Satin lipsticks. This one is in Calypso, and this one is my favourite. These are to die for. These are liquid lipsticks that are matte, but they have an almost, like, yes, satin. So they're matte, but they're not like 100% matte. They don't dry down. There is like a stickiness to them. Well, not sticky, like wetness. I don't know how to describe it. But these stay on all day. They literally stay on all day. They are super comfortable. You may have to reapply depending on what you're eating. Like if you're eating something really oily, like you would with a matte lipstick anyway. These are so pigmented. Like, wait, I'll just swatch this one. Like, so pigmented. That's just like one swatch, and that would like spread. Like, I find to do like my lips, I only need to dip into this once and it will cover my lips. I mean, I have quite small lips. And I love these. These are so comfortable. And I would definitely say Andrea totally made me want these. She loves Colourpop. She talks about Colourpop all the time on her channel. And she honestly is the reason I started buying Colourpop cosmetics, because she does. In almost every video she posts, she will talk about Colourpop. But she's very honest about them, which is what I like. Because if they come out with a bad product, she will say it's bad. Like, their ultra matte lipsticks are awful. I'm sorry, they are bad. But the ultra satin lipsticks, because honestly, I love matte lipsticks. And if I was given a choice between a satin lipstick or a matte lipstick, I would go for the matte over the satin any day of the week. But when I tried these, because these came in a set together, I was totally like mind blown. These are one of my favourite lipstick formulas. I need to get more. I just wish Colourpop was sold in the UK. Like, they ship to the UK, and I had issues. I ordered the whole My Little Pony collection, and then it wasn't Colourpop's fault. It was the post office hadn't told me. My parcel had arrived. It sat in the post office for a month. Colourpop couldn't reship me the order. They just had to refund me, and by that point I actually needed the money. I couldn't justify spending the money again, if that makes sense. Anyway, and it just totally pissed me off, because the fact is it's coming all the way from America. So, I mean, it took quite a while to get here anyway. I mean, Colourpop actually do get here quite fast. And it's not their fault. And their customer service was amazing. But I just wish they were sold in the UK. I'm so sorry. My camera literally just went flying off there because I don't have my tripod set up. And then this one here in Gold Digger. You can tell I have like a colour preference. These are so soft. They're so pigmented. They just glide on. These stay on all day. I'd say these probably last longer than the satin lipsticks. And they make applying lipsticks just that bit easier. Not the traditional lipsticks are hard to apply, but you know what I mean. So love them. And then obviously couldn't go without mentioning the Super Shock shadows, which these are these kind of like cream to powder shadows. So here I have the shade Cusp, which reminds me of Dragon Scales. And then I have Drift, which is this beautiful, warm, shimmery red. And these are... So this is Drift, and I'll just swatch that. And this is them here. So it's like a kind of cream to powder formula. I love these because they are so bright, so unique. But then I also kind of feel like they have a lot of fallout. And maybe just because I have oily eyelids that they don't stay on very well. Maybe that's just me. Who knows? And that's them both there. So that's Cusp and Drift. So, I mean, they are beautiful. They swatch beautifully. If you don't like glitter, I would avoid these. But again, I would have to credit Andrea for really kind of turning me on to Colourpop and making me go, yes, I want to try Colourpop. Sorry, this video is actually going really long. So I'm just going to kind of skim through these lip products. I have the L'Oreal Lip Paint Matte. Again, everyone spoke about these. Tati spoke about these. Cassie spoke about them. I'm pretty sure Jessica Braun spoke about them. These are just these L'Oreal matte lipsticks. I know they have like kind of glossy ones, metallic ones. I declared the red one because I wasn't as keen. These aren't like as good, I feel, as like everyone on YouTube made them out to be. That's it there. These are really pigmented. They are really nice, but I just don't feel like they stay on. I like the kind of squeezy tube packaging. I think that's really different. Obviously in the States, these are like the infallible ones. I don't know why they're labelled differently in the UK, but I do like this. I like this colour. This is in Wuthering Purple. And as I said, this is kind of like everyone on YouTube kind of talked about these. Then I have the Clinique Crayola Chubby Stick Intense in the shade Red Violet. And Rach Loves did a video on these. Where because for their PR package, they got sent like a colouring in sheet of their face. And she got her daughter to colour it in, and it was really cute. And she did a video on these. It was either in like a new releases, or I can't remember if it was this dedicated video to this. And I love limited edition makeup. Obviously, being an artist, I loved Crayola growing up, and I never used Clinique anything. And I know people kind of raved about their chubby sticks anyway on YouTube. So when I saw the collab, I had to go out and get it, and that's it. Swatched it there. And I absolutely love this. This is so comfy on the lips. You do have to reapply it. I would say it can, just because obviously it is a chubby stick, it can be a little difficult to apply. But I love this. And I mean, yeah, admittedly, I bought it because it's Crayola. But when I kind of did see like positive reviews on it, I did kind of go, you know what, I'm going to get that. That does look really fun. Okay, and then I have this NYX Intense Butter Gloss in the shade Apple Crisp. And I would say probably, I think it was Tati spoke about these. Sorry, a lot of these are Tati approved products. And I already had like a butter gloss by NYX that was like a matte one that I didn't like. But then she spoke about these intense ones that had this shiny lid and how they were a bit different. So I went out and got this, and I actually do really like this one because it is a very pigmented gloss. It's like, so that's it there. You can see it's really glossy, really shiny, but it has the pigment of like a liquid lipstick, which is personally what I quite like about it. And these smell amazing, but they are quite messy. I find NYX lip products to be really messy, but I do really like this. It's one of the few NYX products I get along with. And then I have the NYX Lip Lingerie, and this is in the shade Exotic. Yeah. I have another one which I just bought, which is a grey one, but it's downstairs and it's horrible. It's lumpy. I don't understand, because this one I love. But this was Biohazardous Beauty. I think her name's Victoria. She kind of talks about these in a few of her videos when she's mentioned like what lip products she's putting on. And as I say, I don't really get on very well with NYX lip products, but I have to admit this is really good. This is a dupe for one of the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks in Double Dare. This is like pretty much an exact dupe, and I actually really like this. I love the shade. That's it there. I do think this is really comfortable. It's not the most long-wearing matte liquid lipstick ever, but it is a really nice lipstick, and it is really pigmented, and it looks really, really good. So, love this. Okay, that's lip products. Okay, quickly moving on to eyes, because I have a lot of palettes to talk about. Lash Paradise. Need to say any more. L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Tati raves about this. Jessica Braun raves about this. Rach Loves raves about this. This is a cult favourite mascara. It is, like, as I say, it dries up quite quickly. It's quite messy. I need to get a new one because I'm nearly done with this. But this mascara is so good. I mean, mine is, like, pretty much dried up now. I need to get a new one. So excuse, like, how manky my wand looks. But this makes my lashes massive. And it coats them. They're so black. They're so thick and voluminous. I still prefer them as baby roll over this mascara, but if I want more dramatic black, dare I say clumpy lashes, this is so good. I need to get a new one because this is pretty much dried out. But yeah, love this. Love this. There's a reason everyone raves about it. Okay, and then I have the NYX Epic Ink Liner, which is quite new to me, and where has this been all my life? This is waterproof. So again, I've seen Jessica Braun talk about this. I think I've seen Tati talk about this. I think Victoria from Biohazardous Beauty talked about this. Maybe I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure Cassie's spoken about this. A lot of people have spoken about this liner. And this liner is so good. So that's it there. It's so black. It just glides on. It is perfect. It's perfect for my life. I prefer this to the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I wasn't a huge fan of the Kat Von D tattoo liner, in all honesty, but this is so much better. It is a fraction. It's like $6.99, and it's so black. My wing liner has never looked better. My wing liner has never been easier to do. This is amazing, and I wish I had bought this sooner. I'm honestly like, where has this been my whole life? Love this. And then I had the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, which Biohazardous Beauty, she talks about this all the time. And this is just, mine looks kind of gross because you can see like some eyeshadow on the edge of it. I were to wipe that off. So it is, as it says, just a white kind of eye pencil. They do these in all sorts of colours, which I think I'll buy. And she uses this as a base for like brighter shadows. And I've kind of been watching her talk about this for ages and like for so long. And then I'm pretty sure Jessica Braun mentioned it in one of her videos. And I just went, you know what, I need to buy this because I wear a lot of like metallic shadows, a lot of really bright shadows. And it just totally enhances it. It's like an extra primer. It just brightens everything. I feel like it just makes everything look better. And again, this was super cheap, so love this. Sorry guys, this video is going so long. So I'm going to kind of whiz through the palettes. So next I have my Tarte Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. So obviously Graveyard Girl is so big on YouTube. But the reason I bought this was because of Jeffreestar. Now, I didn't buy this, I was gifted this, but I did ask for it. So Jeffreestar did a whole video on this palette. I'd been seeing him use it in his videos. I think I saw Tati using it in videos. And I was like, what is this cool looking palette? This palette looks amazing. It looks like wood. It has an alligator with wings. It's called Swamp Queen. Who is this Graveyard Girl? And he did a video on it and had like linked Graveyard Girl, obviously, in the video. And that's how I discovered Graveyard Girl. How I discovered Bunny. I love her, and this palette is amazing. I've spoke about this palette a lot. I've hit pan on the highlighter. I've hit pan on Big Baby. I speak about this palette a lot on my channel because this is my everyday go-to palette. This is what I travel with because it has a bronzer, a blush, a highlight. It has all these amazing shadows. It's all I need. I travel with this palette. This palette smells amazing. This palette is so pigmented. This palette has very little fallout. This palette is beautiful. The packaging is beautiful. And that's all I need to say about it. Okay, then we have the Urban Decay Naked Heat. Again, so many people spoke about this. People had very mixed reviews on it. But I think the first person I saw talk about this and actually love it was Andrea. She always does very warm tone eyeshadow looks. And that's kind of what I go for as well. So usually I will value her opinion when it comes to warm tone shadows. And this is it here. I got this for Christmas. I got a voucher. And I bought this with the voucher, and such a great investment. This is the only naked palette I own. Because, I know, honestly, the other naked palettes have never appealed to me. The only naked palette that appealed to me was the Naked Free. Because I don't really wear nude shadows. But I absolutely adore the Naked Heat, and I'm so glad I bought it. Because I use this almost every day. And I love the packaging. I love that it's like really sturdy packaging as well, and the colours in here are just amazing, and Urban Decay eyeshadows are just above and beyond other eyeshadows. So speaking of Urban Decay, I have the Urban Decay Jean-Michel Basquiat palette, and Graveyard Girl spoke about this. She did a video on this. I decided to go with this one. This is the I can't remember which one this is because it doesn't have the name on it. But what I love is there's a hook on the back. So when you actually finish the palette, you have some artwork that you can hang up on your wall. Sometimes I kind of wish I'd went for the more colourful one. But I do like that this is like a kind of more neutral, nude tone palette. You can do a really smoky eye, a really warm eye, even a cool. And you have these nice bright golds. And I really like this. Like I know sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I bought the colourful one. But I use this palette a lot, and I know Bunny had spoken about this, and I was like, you know what, I need to get it. The colours are amazing, the packaging is beautiful. I love Basquiat, like Crown. I did a whole video on this palette, and I will link that above if you want to hear more about it. Okay, sticking with Urban Decay, I have the Pulp Fiction palette, which I got. It was a second-hand palette. I got it on Glambot, where they sell used makeup that's like all cleaned and stuff. And this is it here. So when, a few years ago when I started watching like more beauty guru videos, I saw that a lot of people had this palette in their collection. And I think it was Cassie from Thrift Fit was doing a project plan on this. I may be wrong. But I kept seeing this palette kind of crop up in her videos. And I love Pulp Fiction. It's one of my favourite films. And I was like, what? There's a Pulp Fiction palette out there? How did I not know this? Obviously it's quite old now. But I just wasn't really into makeup back when this came out. So I had to get it. I managed to get it. And I absolutely love this. Like, if you ever see me wearing like a kind of dark neutral, like kind of brown smoky eye, it'll be this palette. Because these colours are just great for like a quick everyday look. And I really love this palette for multiple reasons. And again, Urban Decay eyeshadows. Their formula is just amazing. Okay, Modern Renaissance. Again, I could list you so many YouTubers who rave about this. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. I use this all the time. This is so beaten up. I use Cypress Umber, that brown shade there, in my brows. I use Tempera, that shade of Hit Pan on to set everything. I've made a pretty big dent in Golden Ochre and Primavera and Vermeer in the shimmery shades. As I said, I could list so many YouTubers who raved on this palette because everybody raved and still raves about this palette for a reason, because this palette is amazing. Mine's so Tati. Okay, last 3 products. I have the... Actually, no, I'm not going to talk about the Charlie and Chocolate... Okay, I have my Storybook Cosmetics Charlie and Chocolate Factory palette, which Jeffreestar and Graveyard Girl talk about this brand all the time. But I'm not going to talk about this palette in this video because I haven't seen them talk about this palette specifically. This is more a brand I bought because of YouTube. So I think I'm going to actually not really go into that palette. Just because, yeah, I think I'll keep that for another video. Okay, next I have the Makeup Revolution Mermaids vs Unicorns palette. And I bought this because Emily Boo here on YouTube, she is a beautiful gothic mermaid. Go check her out. She is absolutely amazing. She talks about this palette all the time. And I had to have it. I don't use this palette that often because I don't wear a lot of colours. But when I do want a pop of colour, this is the palette I will go for, especially if I want blues or greens and this like beautiful kind of shade here. I really like this. I like that you can do a smoky eye with this palette with a bright pop of colour. This is the palette I reach for when I want pops of colour. So this isn't like an everyday palette for me, but it's definitely pop of colour. But as I said, I would never have probably picked this up if Emily Boo hadn't spoken about this so much, and her eyeshadow always looks so nice and bright. So love this. And then last but not least, I have the Max Factor Rose Nudes palette. So this, I think it was Jessica, Braun and Tati kind of spoke about this. Now, they would have spoke about the CoverGirl Rose Nudes palette. So Max Factor and CoverGirl are sister companies. I think they're both owned by Coty. I could be wrong, but I looked this up because there's a lot of CoverGirl makeup that I was like, what? That's Max Factor. And vice versa. And I looked it up, and apparently they are sister companies. So Tati kind of spoke about these as like really good drugstore nude palettes, and I love this. This is like a good dupe for the Naked Free. These shadows are some of the softest, most blendable shadows I have ever used in my life. They're just amazing. I got this for Christmas 2 years ago, and I just love it. I use it all the time. It's my go-to, quick, simple, everyday little palette. Love this palette. So anyway, that is everything. That's all the makeup. I'm sorry this was such a long video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video was somewhat useful to you. If it was, please give this a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below and join my channel here. I would love to have you. And if you're already subscribed and you haven't, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload videos. And yes, comment down below, do you have any of this makeup? Do you love it? Did YouTube make you buy it? Do you have any brands or makeup that you have that YouTube are totally I only bought this because of YouTube. And if you want to see me talk about brands I only bought because of YouTube, then give us a thumbs up so I know that that's something you want to see. Anyway, I hope you're all taking care of yourself. I hope you're all keeping well, whatever you're doing. If you're snowed in like us, I hope you're having a great snow day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!